ain't taking notes from nobody.
Your superstars have off games.
Follow us on social media at Celtics Talk Weekly.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome in, boys, to Celtics Postgame Live. I am your host, Robbie Tan. I am with my co-host, Ian Angelo, as the Boston Celtics take down the Golden State Warriors 120-108 in Game 1 of the NBA Finals. Coming with that energy for Game 1, Celtics steal Game 1. I will say that. Steal Game 1 from the Golden State Warriors here as they take a 1-0 series lead against Golden State in the NBA Finals. Ian, initial thoughts, reactions, comments on the game. Obviously, it was a hype fourth quarter. Let me know how you're thinking.
Let's go! Man, what have they been saying? The Celtics have not been able to close out games. They've not been able to come back. They've not been able to do it in the fourth quarter. The first three quarters, we don't have to talk about that right now. The fourth quarter, that was absolutely insane. I've never seen the Celtics turn it on like that. They won the fourth quarter 40-16.
Yeah.
40-16.
It was a beatdown.
That was absolutely insane.
It was a beatdown.
I mean, everyone was hitting shots. Al Horford, Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Peyton Pritchard, Marcus Smart. I mean, damn. That was just incredible. What a comeback.
I mean,
we'll talk about the rest of the game.
Now, let's talk about the fourth.
100%. You freaking insane.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that fourth quarter was wild. I mean, everyone was knocking down. I mean, obviously, we're down by 15 at one point in the third. We'll talk about that once Seamus and Justin pour in here. But that fourth quarter, dude, it feels like Derek White has got that confidence now. I remember I think I was watching round 2 against the Bucks. Mark Jackson was saying how when he was coaching, it was in the loop on how the only downside with Derek White was his confidence. He lacked confidence, and that really held his game back. The dude has been balling for us these past 6 games. Ever since game 1, when Smart was out of the Heat series, I think he gave us 15, 14. The dude's been producing. 21 tonight. The man's been knocking down his shot. Obviously, he hit that huge 3 with the shot clock winding down to tie the game up for the Celtics. I mean, how big was Derek White tonight, Ian?
Derek White played absolutely incredible tonight. I mean, it feels like ever since he had his child, he has just become just an absolutely insane player. I mean, we always knew Derek White, was kind of like this guy. This is kind of the guy he was in San Antonio, where he was just able to hit shots and play great defense. I didn't know he was able to hit shots like that. I mean, Derek White has been absolutely huge for us. And in a game where Jason Tatum struggled, everybody else stepped up around him, and they won the game.
Yeah.
And that was just an incredible win.
I mean, everyone's been saying Jordan Poole this, Tyler Hero that. Right now, Derek White's playing like the best 6-man. I mean, he plays both sides of the ball. He's been knocking down his shots, been scoring and been passing. I mean, Derek White's been huge. Jason J. Rich trade, not Jason, sorry, was just phenomenal now. I mean, Derek White's been balling. And it really was a core reason behind this Game 1 win, especially with Tatum struggles, which we'll talk about. But also someone I want to talk about is Big Al. First ever NBA Finals game. Big Al putting up 26 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists to steal, 9 of 12 shooting, 6 of 8 from beyond the arc, which is a career high. Finished with a +9, plus-minus. The dude was unstoppable tonight. I mean, Ian, how was Al, especially that fourth quarter? That's when, and Jaylen Brown, how was Al able to attack in that fourth quarter? What was he doing?
I mean, I don't know what Al Horford just did. I mean, he just channeled the energy of 2012 LeBron in that fourth quarter. He had that picture where he was just leaning over with his eyes like just staring.
Yeah.
He was just channeling all of the energy of the 15 years of never being in the playoffs and just leaving it all out on the court, which was absolutely insane. Al Horford was 100% the best player in this game tonight. He 100% was the Celtics' best player. And this is something we would have expected out of Al Horford in his first stint with the Celtics, not at 35 years old. And he's literally playing like he's 25. That was just an absolutely insane fourth quarter performance by Al Horford, and I didn't expect it. I knew Al was going to step up. I didn't know he was going to step up that big. That was just absolutely insane.
Well, it was much needed too because Tatum. I wouldn't call Tatum's game one awful. I would call his shooting performance awful. But I mean, the dude had 13 assists. He finished with a plus 16 plus minus, only 2 turnovers. 2 turnovers to 13 assists is a phenomenal assist to turnover ratio. So I think he moved the ball around well. I think he played great defense. So I don't think Tatum had an awful game. I think he shot the ball poorly. I don't think he shoots the ball 16% again. And, it's big. I mean, Tatum shot 17%, and the Celtics won. I think that's something that we really got to look at. Look at Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown had a solid game, very good game, 24, 7, and 5. He didn't shoot the ball great, though. I mean, 2 of 8 from threes, 10 of 23. So the Celtics found a way to steal a game on the road, game one, after the Warriors had all this time off. They were able to take a game. And, I mean, what an important win, right? I mean, the Celtics stole home court now in the NBA Finals. Are they going to protect it? I mean, we haven't seen them protect it yet, Ian, in the past 2 series. Hopefully they do that. But, oh, my God, what a big win. And it really, in my opinion, is the fact that the Celtics next 4 behind Brown and Tatum stepped up. Golden State, I think Curry went nuclear in the first. Celtics trailed by 4. Curry went nuclear in the fourth, right? I mean, I was like, oh, we might be seeing a different beast here in the finals.
I'm not going to lie to you. When Steph Curry was playing in the first quarter, it looked like the All-Star game.
Yeah, totally.
He was just absolutely torching everything and everybody. It didn't matter if you had Smart, Tatum, White, Brown, didn't matter who was on him. He was torching everybody.
In the Celtics, I think the big thing, obviously, Seamus, I'm going to get to you. I want to hear your initial reactions to the game 1 win. But it kind of felt like the Warriors were never able to put us away. They'd go up by 10. We'd come crawling right back and tie the game up. They'd go back up 8 and would come crawling back. I mean, that shows resilience on the road in your first ever finals game for all these players. As now we got the whole squad here for game 1.
Jeez,
I mean, that shows resilience from your team to be down 15 in the third. None of these guys have played a finals game. The other team has had 123 games of experience. They come out, they find a way to rally back. Horford balled out. Seamus, Justin, let me hear it from you guys. How are you feeling after this game 1 win? How did the C's do it?
We are inching towards a territory that we do not know. We are 3 wins away from the NBA title, the 2022 NBA title. And what the Celtics did tonight was monumental. Monumental. When I saw Al Horford flexing at the end of that game, it's like a dream. It's like a dream to just see the Celtics play in the finals. But what transpired tonight, especially late in the game, I mean, oh my goodness. 40 points in the fourth quarter against the Warriors. 40. We're talking about the league's 2 best defenses here, and offense was really the story tonight. But the league's 2 best defenses, and the Celtics put up 40 points in the fourth quarter on the Warriors in game 1 of the NBA Finals. It's game 1 of the NBA Finals. The Warriors are one of the best teams in NBA history at winning game 1s. And tonight the Celtics, blow after blow. It looked like many times the Warriors were going to run away with that game. The first quarter, the third quarter, they went into the fourth quarter up 12. And at that point, the Celtics, they made it relatively close for themselves. But at that point, you were going, yikes. And in the fourth quarter, the Celtics, I believe they hit 9 threes. They might have hit more than that.
It's the first 7 in a row.
Yeah, the first 7 in a row. They started 7 of 7 from the field in the fourth quarter and absolutely dominated that entire period. I can't even fathom. This feels like a dream. The Celtics just went into Golden State, took punch after punch after punch, and responded late in the fourth quarter with one of the most dominant quarters they've had all season long. I mean, we're in the finals, folks. We're in the finals. Al Horford, we're in the finals. Derek White, we're in the finals. Tatum, he didn't have a great game tonight, but we escaped that with the win in Golden State. I'll let you guys take it away. I'm on top of the moon.
Well, Justin, let me hear from you, Justin. How are you feeling right now? How did the C's pull that off?
Can I be honest with you? Jaylen Brown and the Celtics played aggressive in that second quarter. They stopped settling for a lot of three-pointers. And I'm going to be honest with you. I have full-blown confidence in this team on the road. I mean, these guys are the definition of road warriors. 8 of their now 13 playoff wins have been on the road, if that's correct. I'm pretty sure, or something like that.
Yeah, you got that.
Boston had given Miami their first home loss of their postseason back in the Eastern Conference Finals. Now, this was Golden State's first home loss in the whole postseason. And to, kind of piggyback off of Seamus's point, putting up 40 points in a quarter is not easy at all, but especially when Golden State is one of the top defensive teams in the entire NBA, let alone Western Conference, in the entire NBA and the entire postseason. These guys are the real deal. We saw a huge collapse in the third quarter in Game 1 against the Miami Heat. We saw a huge quarter collapse in the fourth quarter with 10 minutes left in Game 5 against the Milwaukee Bucks in the semifinals. This was the total opposite for the Celtics. This time, the Celtics weren't the team to collapse, and they just so happened to prevail Game 1 of the NBA Finals, rather. I'm so used to saying Eastern Conference Finals all these years. And I also want to mention really quick, Derek White.
Yeah.
Huge mention, Derek White. And this hasn't been, this is no surprise. He hit his shots. He hit his open shots. The only difference was he hit his shots. He's had these shots. He's made these defensive plays. He's made these playmaking plays. But guess what? Nobody pays attention and nobody makes a big deal out of it because he doesn't walk away with 26 points every damn night, or 21 points, however many points it was. And huge props to Derek White and Al Horford as well. I'm kind of getting sick and tired of giving Al Horford his flowers because it's every freaking night. It's every night, and he's just now starting to get the recognition for it. But huge Game 2 comes Sunday. I'm sure we'll dive into that a little bit later. But Game 1 win, Rob, you know me and my Game 1 wins. I love to make statements, and this one right here was huge. Game 1 against Brooklyn, you barely scraped by. Game 1 against Milwaukee, you actually got blown out on your home court. Game 1 against Miami, you got whopped in that third quarter.
Yeah.
This one meant a lot to me.
Yeah, I feel like this was a game I was fully okay and prepared to lose. Golden State had the rest. Boston obviously just played in back-to-back, grueling, long, rough Game 7 series. They come in tonight on the road. They got to fly to Cali, to San Fran.
It's a long trip.
They had a little 3-day break. Rob Will hobbled one leg. Smart came out and said in a postgame that this ankle injury is serious. He will play, but it's serious. And they just found a way to win. And I think that's the most important thing in the now NBA Finals, but in the playoffs, is when you're on the road, you have to find a way to win. It doesn't have to be pretty on the road, in my opinion. I just think you have to find a way to will together a couple of road wins. 1 or 2. If you can protect home court here, the NBA Finals is yours. If the Celtics can win at their home court, which I would expect this Golden State team to not bend, and this series is nowhere close to over. However, the Celtics now got the job done on the road. They have an opportunity, in my opinion, to end the series Sunday night in Game 2. If Boston takes both games on the road, this series could potentially be over. And obviously, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but that's the position they successfully put themselves in after I thought expected this to be a loss tonight, guys. So props to the C's. They put themselves in a phenomenal position against the now 6-time NBA Finals appearance Golden State Warriors. But guys, I can't stress enough something I want to talk about Jason Tatum, because he, like I said, he did not shoot the ball well at all, but he was still a positive being on the court. He was still contributing at a very high level. 13 assists is, I want to say, is that his career high?
It's got to be.
I think his previous career high was 12. So the man in the game one came out and shot the ball poorly, awful, 17%, god awful. This will be his worst shooting game all series, or God, I hope so it is, because it can't get much worse than 17%. But the dude still had a career night, 13 assists. That's what being the best player on a championship team looks like. When you knew that they're going to throw defense, what the best they had at you on defense. So you come out and you drop dimes. You get your teammates involved, guys. How big was Tatum tonight in the passing department?
I mean, honestly, truthfully, if you go back to last year, this Jason Tatum, the Celtics would have lost this game with last year's Jason Tatum. Tatum's ability and the development that he's made to become a facilitator and to become a playmaker is absolutely incredible. Like you said, Jason Tatum literally could not hit water if he fell out of a boat tonight when it came to shooting the basketball. He could not hit the broadside of a barn. But when it came to, just being a positive on the court, he played great defense. And when it came to finding the right pass, anytime he would get double teamed or really just in general, he was able to do it. And this is the development out of Jason Tatum. And if the Celtics can do this in a game where Jason Tatum shot 17% from the field, I mean, what's going to happen if Jason Tatum is able to find it? I mean, it's just the fact that Jason Tatum's been able to improve on his game so much in so little time, really, because even in the beginning of the year, Tatum wasn't doing this. So the fact that he's been able to improve so much is absolutely incredible. And without his playmaking tonight, the Celtics might not have been in the situation that they were in.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Jason Tatum tonight, we've talked about this many times this season with Tatum, and we even discussed it with other stars too. If you're having a bad shooting night and you're not scoring the ball, you have to be doing something out there to create for others, and that's what ultimately makes a star a superstar. And Jason Tatum, he did not have it going from the field at all tonight. Even some of the shots that he made, they didn't look all that great, and yet he comes away with 13 assists and made an impact on the game. But even outside of Jason Tatum, we got to give some flowers to Al Horford, Derek White, and Robert Williams. Specifically, Al Horford, of course. Al Horford, I mean, the old man, Al, down the stretch, Al Horford took over that game. My friend, he's a Warriors fan, and I watched the game with him tonight. And after the game, I said to him, a couple of years ago, when you were facing prime LeBron in the finals, did you ever think that Al Horford would be cooking you in the finals one day? And of course, the answer is no, because Al Horford, he was absolutely insane down the stretch. And his counterpart in the front court, Robert Williams tonight, Rob was not healthy at all. Robert Williams was not healthy, not even close to healthy. But guess what? He made an impact. He came up with many hustle plays in the game, came up with a couple of blocks as well, and was contesting a ton of shots. He played a huge role in tonight's game at times in just providing the Celtics with an extra line of defense. I cannot say enough about him. He did not, of course, he's not healthy. He didn't have his best game of the season. He didn't have the elite Rob game we know he can have. However, Robert Williams, to play through pain like that, clearly playing through pain, and to come up with a performance like that, just being someone who can contest shots, constantly coming up with hustle plays, coming up with blocks, that was very impressive to me tonight. And so that just shows to me, we talk about Heat culture and Warriors culture. Well, if you want to build a culture around your franchise, that's exactly what players need to do. And that's what Robert Williams did tonight. And I'm so impressed with all three of those guys and Jason Tatum outside of his shooting, of course, tonight.
Most definitely. I mean, can we give flowers to Brad Stevens? He flipped Kemba Walker Kemba Walker, and I love Kemba Walker. No disrespect to Kemba whatsoever. But the dude was hobbled. The dude was on one leg. And as much as great as he was 6 years ago, as much as a bucket he was, the dude just couldn't produce anymore at the level we needed him to do. He couldn't play defense. He's a 6'1" point guard who lost his knees. Sounds familiar, honestly. It sounds like a former Boston guard we had. But, that move made the entire. Al Horford's having his best playoff run of his career. In this playoffs, and to think that we flipped Kemba Walker, who was a guy at the end of last year who really struggled to get you 15 points and produce anywhere outside of those 15 points, and we flipped him for a guy that's given us 26 points on 6 of 8 shooting in the NBA finals. In the NBA finals the next year, and when he's not scoring, he's giving you 10 and 12. He's giving you solid defense, like just an overall great addition. And I want to talk about Derek White. This man has found his confidence. He has found his rhythm in the offense. And if this Derek White, if this is the 27-year-old six man that we have in Boston for the foreseeable future, this team is going to be really, really tough to beat. Because when Derek White plays like this, it's tough to beat the Boston Celtics.
Definitely. Ever since Derek White had his kid, he's been the best six man in the NBA. I swear to God.
Yeah.
It's not a myth. Dad strength is a thing. Look at the Red Sox. Alex Verdugo had a kid last year, and after he had a kid, he became like an amazing player the rest of the season. Derek White had a kid, becomes an amazing player the rest of the playoffs. This is what we expected when we got Derek White. Yep. Obviously, I don't think we expected 21 points, but we expected him to hit his shots, and we expected him to play amazing defense, and that's what he's doing.
Definitely.
Absolutely insane to see the turnaround that he's made, because there were people that were burning him at the stake before the playoffs because he was shooting so poorly. If you want to talk about not being able to hit the broadside of the barn, damn, they were the Bucks series. They were leaving him wide open. They were daring him to shoot.
Yeah.
So the fact that Derek White's been able to turn it around, he's become more aggressive. He's been able to become basically a part of the team. He's kind of playing like he's been there the entire season. So, it's just absolutely amazing to see Derek White playing right now.
I'm interested to see Game 2, guys, because Justin made a great point. We haven't seen the Celtics get out to a 1-0 series lead in probably 3 weeks now, since April. Game 1 was April 18th, something like that. So it's been a month of us, almost 2. Jeez, of us not having a great start to the series. I'm interested, Seamus, right? And I wonder how do you think the C's respond Game 2? Because we've seen them bounce back from adversity, but we haven't necessarily seen them respond to their response. They haven't been able to just really put it all together. In Game 2, it kind of feels like the perfect opportunity to do that on the road, right?
Yeah, if they win Game 2, this could become a landslide, because at home, the Celtics, they haven't been too great at home, but theoretically, still moving forward, you like to have that home court advantage, and you expect them to win at home. However, in Game 2, you mentioned it. The Celtics have really not responded well to their own responses at all in the playoffs. You look at going all the way back to the Milwaukee series, we pretty much went every other game with them until Game 7, and same thing happened in the Heat series. And so it's very hard to tell what's going to happen moving forward. The Warriors, I thought they gave us a ton of haymakers tonight, and we responded to them. Yet in Game 2, they know what they need to do to come out and pull out a win at home. They've done it every single time this postseason up until tonight. The Celtics are the first team this postseason to beat the Warriors on their home floor. So the Warriors, they know what they need to do to win at home. They did a lot of it tonight, a lot of cutting. Just the Celtics misdirection. The Celtics, they're going to have a tough time defending the Warriors throughout the rest of the series. Tonight there were times, I think we're going to see it even more throughout the rest of the series, where the Warriors are just so good at getting buckets in their free-flowing offense, and that can sometimes cause a barrage, and the Celtics are very good at that as well, as we saw in the fourth quarter. But in game two, if the Warriors come out hot, the Celtics need to come out even hotter. They need to sustain the blows like they did tonight, because I believe they're coming again. And if they do win game two on the road, like I said, going back to Boston, you still expect them to grab at least one home game. And at that point, a 3-1 lead in the finals. Hopefully we don't get to that point. Hopefully it's a 3-0 lead, but 3-1 lead in the finals sounds pretty good if you can win game two on the road.
Yeah.
Also, I'm going back to a conversation we had like a half hour ago. Tonight was a career high for Jason Tatum in assists.
Yes.
For 13.
Yes.
So
It is?
It is. Tonight
Okay, that's
is
what I
12
thought.
was his previous career high.
Yeah. So, I mean, Tatum, like I said, I don't think he shoots this poor again. But also, at the same time, I don't think the Warriors have necessarily seen a team. The Mavs teams. I mean, the Mavs were good. The Grizzlies wouldn't break, but Mavs and the Nuggets, you go up by 15 entering the fourth against those types of teams, and they almost throw the towel in. They almost on the road down 15 in a game one. They're almost prepared to wrap it up and get ready for game two. You're not going to see that from the Celtics team, and I don't think you're not going to see this Warriors team bend over either. You're going to get the Warriors' best game in game two, and the Celtics have to be ready for that. Otherwise, they'll get wiped if they don't come out and prepare themselves for the punch the Golden State Warriors are going to throw at them. However, like I said, they have to prepare themselves for the Warriors, and the Warriors have to prepare themselves in this little bend don't break mentality that the Celtics have, because if they don't, things you saw if Warriors let their foot off the gas and the Celtics just absolutely dominated in the fourth, guys. However, we are coming up on our time here for this show. It felt good to get back in here. Been a little bit since all four of us have gone it. We will have we should have all of the finals covered. It's going to be tricky. I know I'm going to games 3 and 4. There's watch parties, and I'm not going to lie. If the C's are up 3-2 or 3-1 or 3-3, I might be heading into the city because I might want to be in that. So we don't know what the post-game shows are going to look like. So stay in touch on social media.
There's going to be a lot of social media coverage for this series. Obviously, we're going to have like a big series finale and everything like that. But like post-game shows are like not guaranteed. But obviously, if we're going to try our best to get them out. But like, don't sit here all day waiting for it. If anything, I'd say your best bet is we're going to be very active on all of our social medias and Celtics Talk Weekly social media. So stay tuned for that.
I would expect the road games. We should have all the road games for sure. Games 1, 2, and 5. Just 3, 4, and 6. 1, 2, and 7. We don't know how long this is. But the home games, just like I said, stay in touch with us on social media. We'll let you guys know whether we might do it the next day. We might do it, so you'll find out. Guys, before we close the show out here, any final thoughts, comments, statements maybe you want to make before game 2?
Let's we're in the championship round, right, guys? One of our troubles, even when we've been good, Seamus, you alluded to this earlier, has been consistency. We have responded well from adversity, but we haven't responded well to our own kind of punch, right? Like we'll throw a punch at the Bucks, and all of a sudden next game we totally fumbled the bag. We did the same thing against Miami. You can't afford to do that at this stage. Go out. We obviously know what Golden State is going to do come Sunday night. It's going to be a rough game. It could be a really rough game for Boston, but also it could really be a rough game from Golden State. So just go in, try to be consistent. Maybe Tatum, I'd say the only one who I want to be inconsistent scoring wise, because tonight he sucks scoring. He was awesome assisting, but I need 40 from him next game. I really need 40 from him next game. But yeah, go in. I love seeing guys like Pritchard, Horford, and Derek White, guys who, might not sound like the biggest names in the league, but they actually made the biggest impacts tonight. Go out there. Let's win another finals game. Let's enjoy it as well. Embrace the journey. Seamus talked about it as well. Even if we don't win the finals, we have to enjoy the moments in between, a potential game 7, embrace it, enjoy living the moment and and take everything you can away from this. Let's just enjoy this for tonight, and then focus Game 2 Sunday.
Yeah, I totally agree with everything you just said. And my final message, Derek White, they're going to keep giving you that shot. Keep taking it because we believe in you. We believe in you, Derek White.
Oh, yeah.
We believe in you.
For sure.
The only thing I have to say, 3 more.
Three more.
Good job.
More.
Job not finished.
Wins. 3 more wins.
Have three more. Oh my God, does it feel good to be a Celtics fan right now? Guys, we will have you covered back here for Game 2 for Celtics Postgame Live. Go follow us on all of our social medias. Go do that good stuff and make sure that you guys root for those C's because they are